be, do, have. That's how I create. How about you? If you listen to a lot of teachers out there right now, they just tell you, do, take action, take action, take action. Person taking the most action the fastest succeeds. Do you know how many people in your world find that to be true? Or is the overwhelming number of people who jump in and do really struggling? Hi, I'm Reverend Allie Bierman. This is Let's Get Metaphysical show, showing you how the forces at work in the universe all the time, but they're invisible. They're running your life, not necessarily running, bossing you, though they are giving you advice. But just tune in to all that guidance. Let's get back. Many years ago, I figured out, well, if you want to make changes in your life, if you want to make changes to who you are, the first thing you got to do is figure out who you want to be. Who do you have to be to live the life that you're thinking you want to live? See, once you figure out who you want to be, then you can ask yourself, let's see, a person like that, what kind of thoughts do they think? What kind of friends do they have? What makes them feel good? What helps them focus on their goal? There's a big clue right there, because the way to become somebody else is to get clear on who that somebody else is, to picture it in your heart and then become that person. Because once you become that person, you'll be attracting all the things that you really want, because you know how to think or what to think about that you want to attract. And when you're thinking, go ahead and virtualize. What kind of house would that kind of person live in? What kind of social life, family life? What kind of career might they be having? What are they doing for fun? What's their furniture like? What kind of car? In what country do they live in? What part of that country? See, all of those things make up who you want to be like. And once all those pieces fall into place, you're somebody who thinks thoughts, who envision things, who hears the bright pieces of conversation that you're overhearing or that you're seeing on the billboard you're passing by, all the messages coming right at you. You know, they're already there for you because you attract them as soon as you know what you want in your life. Those very things are attracted to you. You become that person who takes actions that you never imagined to take because you weren't going down that line to get to be somebody different. Most people are just going along seeing what the masses are doing. And when I want something, a material thing, a new friend, a vacation, when I want certain kinds of foods, here's one of my favorite things that happened. And I had to wait a long time for this to happen. Quite a few years ago, I found the dentist who's also a holistic, completely energy doctor. I mean, phenomenal. Like, I finally lived close enough to go see him because before then he was many hours away. And I went in to see him and I was overjoyed when I met him because we exchanged energy without even words, just energy. And it was an instant connection, an instant rapport. And he was doing what I always hoped I'd find a doctor who does. He kept saying, I'm energy, you're energy, everything is energy. I only work with energy. And he goes into this technology. I'd seen it many years ago when it was low level, nowhere near the sophisticated, but it was doing the kinds of things I do without a technology, well, without an electronic type of technology. He was going in there and he's checking hundreds and hundreds of things that are still in my body. Because you know what? Everything that happens to you in your body. Now, I know in my work that I find energy blocks are caused by everything, every single incident you have all across your life, the relationship blocks. So he was going through charts in the technology that was pretty much the same thing I was doing with my eyes and with my hand, but he could go deeper and faster, way, way faster. So he's going through it because I'm describing things in my health that aren't, they're not working right. And when I had brain injury almost 3 years ago, I knew that even though I was functioning again, I knew I wasn't who I was before that. So he's going through and he's finding hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of incidents of pesticide. And my initial response was, I don't live any place where pesticides are used. And then I remembered, and I lived in the country high on a ridge in Idaho. The land around me was farmers. They were not organic farmers. So I don't know what you call it, the airplane that comes down and sprays everything. I'd be sitting in my living room, and here comes a crop duster. And honestly, I thought he was going to come crashing through my window. That's how close on top of the house he was, is he had to go over the house and down into the field. And they did that frequently. And I lived there for a while. One day I remember thinking, this can't be good for me. And my initial thought was spraying the ground. They're hitting our well water. So it's going down into our groundwater, into the well that feeds the handful of houses there. And it's like lights were blinking. Well, no wonder I had hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of pesticides still in my body. Not that I never do detoxes, but I didn't do the specific ones to get those specific pesticides. Everything that happens in your life is registered in your body. And if you don't know or know somebody who can help you to get rid of it, it can't go away. And little by little, it's going to impact your health negatively. With an athlete who's suddenly in his 60s or 70s, and there are a lot of them from real tough contact sports, and that's not a secret anymore. Suddenly they'll do something and they'll go into horrible, horrible pain and dysfunction. And they can't figure out why that activity made it happen. Well, it was the doing without ever clearing what was there before. So before you can get yourself to a place that you can clear out the mess that's inside you that you're not thinking about because you were able to move beyond the incident, whether it was physical or emotional, social, spiritual, you felt you moved beyond it and that you'd be functioning okay until bam, it hit you. That was certainly what happened to me because suddenly my thinking went back to the 1996 injury with the exact same symptoms, the exact same dizziness. And I had thought, because I kept increasing my ability to function, I really thought I had healed it all. And I had energetic help to heal it. Well, he was showing me, yeah, all that brain injury stuff, it's still in there, but that's okay. We're going to take care of it. Think about who you want to become so that your body's clear and functioning and thinking, and you're picturing the life that you want to live. You virtualize it. I worked with Robert Allen for a while, and he coined that phrase virtualize. He taught us when you're in your dream home, feel the doorknob as you go in and enter. When you go in there, notice is it carpet, is hardwood floors under your feet. Go in over, open the refrigerator, grab a glass from the cabinet. Well, what does it look like? What does it feel like? Are you taking a cold drink? Are you adding ice? Just going through the whole house in that kind of detail. It's like having a virtual environment. Those things where people were those funny, I don't know, goggle-like things. I don't know what you call them. I know I went on a tour of which museum was it in Italy, and I saw the statue of David, and because I was having a virtual reality, I went like right up to him. He must be like 30 feet tall. And then I went on another virtual reality tour. These big blue whales, full size, big blue whales. When you make your environment that real, you're hearing the conversations, you're hearing the kinds of noises going on, maybe in your house, maybe in your yard. Put yourself there for real. What are you seeing, smelling, hearing, touching? And who do you have to be living in that house, having those experiences? What do you want? Who do you have to be to make that your reality? And once you know who you are and you can think thoughts you've never been able to think before, it didn't occur to you because that wasn't your life. But now you know who you want to be and what your life is like. So now you can picture the conversations you're having, how you want to dress, what kind of exercise you want to do, what kind of walks, trips, wherever. Now you know to think that way because you couldn't do that until you knew who you wanted to become. So once you become that person and you have thoughts you've never thought before, now you can create, take actions. That's when you take actions. You got to be first. And after you know who you want to be and you know where you want to wind up in your environment, in your life, then you take the actions. You don't start with the actions because you don't really know what actions are appropriate to attain the reality, the future that you know in your heart you want to live. And here's the nifty thing. As soon as you're taking the actions, well, it's going out to the universe because you're really clear in what you're thinking and what you're wanting. You're moving out in the universe, and you don't have to physically do it. As soon as you're putting it out to the universe, you're attracting all those things because the universe is looking for you. Each of those things that you want in your life, they're looking for you. When I was with the doctor yesterday, he was asking questions like about how I function. And he said, "Are you clairvoyant?" And I said, "No, not regularly, but I definitely get very clear messages about people coming to me. And I get the messages, sadly, when they're uh, physical things that the doctor said, don't worry about it." But I knew there was something there that they were missing. And sure enough, what they were missing that I saw, it came into their realities. There are different things that you can know about yourself. And maybe there are some different things you want to know about yourself. It's like I shared with you before. If I'm going shopping, I don't go to stores very often. I like to go to the farm where the stuff's grown. And I can also get meat there. Otherwise, I have my pastured meat flown in and my safe seafood flown in. When you know what you want, suddenly where to get what you want comes to you. You'll be going online for something and, oh, there's a site I never heard of before. Oh, they have the meat exactly what I want. Oh, they have goat milk cheese. They have raw goat milk. Wow, all those kinds of things. I know what I want. And they keep coming to me. I'm not going out looking for them because the universe connects me with them. They're looking for me. I'm looking for them. So our energies match. If you've never done so, it's time. I hope you got this from where I've been with you up to this moment. It's time to step in a new direction. Because if things aren't looking the way you really want them to look, if you still have struggle going on in your life, you want to step in a new direction, download my short piece checklist. It's a very short piece of what to help you do so you can take your life in a way it hasn't gone before. And another thing, if you're struggling, make sure you contact me because struggle, suffering, they are definitely optional. People who know my story and know the physical struggles that I've had, and when you have physical struggles and they kind of zap your energy, you might notice it would be very rare for me to not be smiling. I know the struggles are there, but I have a choice if I want to struggle or if I want to change my thoughts. You know how to stop bad things from coming at you? Whatever you focus on, it does what? It expands in your life. And 9 out of 10 times when I ask somebody, what do you want? They tell me what they don't want. One of my favorite interviewees was Dee Wallace, and she was sharing with us how, because she does live classes all over the world, and somebody will come up on stage and she'll ask them, what do you want? And they'll tell them, well, I don't want ABC. And she says, what do you want? And she says that goes on for 20 minutes while they're telling her what they don't want. And finally, they get so frustrated, they just yell, I want what they really want. So the way to stop looking for the stuff to struggle about is stop looking for problems. If you even have the word problems in your vocabulary, they're part of your normal thoughts. So first of all, drop the word problems from your vocabulary. I know many years ago, I substituted the word challenge. And recently I've been thinking, they're not really challenges. I know when something happens to me, and it's usually something physical, because this has been happening since I was 9 years old. Something happens to me and I get hurt. And it's unusual. Very few people in the world that happens to them. Well, it took me to get into my 70s to realize when something happens to me, it's like Grant Cardone says, it's not happening to me. It's not happening for me. It's happening because of me. And I recognize when something happens to me that I prefer not be in my reality. I know I got to look and see the universe wants me to know something. What am I missing? And because I'm a healthcare practitioner and an author and a minister, I also know when I know how to eliminate, when I want to eliminate the physical thing that's going on that's bothering me, I figure out how to do it. Or actually, I'm tuning into the universe because I'm seeing myself healthy and functioning, doing what I want. And until I get to that space, the universe will keep throwing different aspects of the same issue until I say, oh, universe wants me to change this thing about my thinking, about my creating, about how I'm living. Yesterday, when I went to that doctor, who I just, I've been wanting to go to him for years because I read about him years ago, but I lived too far away. And I went in there and he was smiling as much as I was and just talking about everything I do is energy. I'm energy, you're energy, everything's energy. He uses mostly homeopathics, and he can infuse a pure water with the frequencies that his software says are very specific to me. You're not in the thought process of how a holistic doctor, I mean, a real one, a lot of people call themselves holistic doctors, holistic dentists. I'd say 99% of those I visited, they didn't begin to be holistic. Definitely doing practices in their so-called holistic dentistry that just devastate your health. When he was saying all these things and everything he said, I totally knew because I do it in my practice. But wow, when I was imagining getting to see him, I had no idea he was this good. And everything he's talking about, I said, yeah, I love that. I read it, I study it. He wrote a really thick book all about what he does and how he lives and how he practices. And he gave me a copy. He says, here, you like to learn. It's all in here. Because I was asking him how everything worked. On the subject of dentistry, what you don't know about the condition of your mouth and the safe and the incredibly damaging practices in many dental practices can hurt you, can destroy you, can lead to your death, to lead to discomforts. So what I'm going to do is create another video for you, not for today, giving you all those kinds of informations, but just enough, not a whole show on it. But I do want you to be aware because what you don't know hurts you. And here we're all about determining the forces out of your awareness that are controlling your life in each moment. And this is slightly different from them being spiritual forces. However, this is information, and I want the best for you so that you enjoy every moment of your life. I wanted it. It took me a while to find that I could go see him. And once I found him, I had to wait 3 months to get in there to see him. And it was worth the wait. And I'll tell you something else. The last trying to remember how many years it's been. It's probably been 6 years. I was having to go to the holistic dentist that I found because I had so much tartar in my mouth that they had to use the drill thing to clean it out, and I'd have to go every 3 months. Well, after the last time that happened, I said to myself, that's enough. I don't want to do that anymore. So I attracted exactly the habits I wasn't doing, used to do a long time ago, forgot before all the tartar stuff happened. So now I'm doing again what I used to do. When I had my teeth cleaned yesterday, there was no heavy tartar. And in my 70s, there were no cavities. In fact, the dentist remarked my gums looked really good. My teeth looked really good. How many people in their 70s can get a report like that at their dentist's office? And of course, and I've spoken to you about this, each tooth is connected to a meridian which goes to a specific organ system. If you're losing a tooth, you're damaging the functioning of that organ system. You've got to take care of your teeth, but you got to go to somebody who knows what they're doing and it's not going to hurt you. Follow your heart. When you are clear what you want, all you have to do is focus on it. You can focus in the morning, you can focus again at night, but then don't go off all day long in between morning and night, going back to what you don't want and thoughts you don't want, keeping creating stuff you don't want in your life. Focus, keep the focus of who you want to be, how you want to live, so you can keep attracting that person. Remember to join our Facebook group, meet some new people, get some of the extras that I usually put in there. You can join our club, ALITLC.club, because I'm learning how to do some technologies that I didn't know how to do before. So we can do some neat stuff inside the club that I've been wanting to do, but I didn't know how because the technology has changed so much since I used to do it. Remember also, you can go to our website. Let's Get Metaphysical show. You can watch or listen to any episode. And I really want to share with you who I usually am when I'm not hurting, when I'm not confused, when my brain is working right. The normal me, if you knew me until the stuff that happened 2.5 years ago, the normal me is walking around just like my mom. He used to walk around singing and humming, and she smiled a lot. Everybody loved her. And that's what I do. I mean, I was alone. There was nobody with me. And I was just singing and humming and smiling all day. You can do that when you choose to, because it changes your body chemistry. It certainly keeps you on the thought path so that you can create who you want to become. Go ahead and look in Audible for an adventure, a free gift from Audible, and you can choose the audiobook of your choice. And I got to tell you right now, I'm approaching 200 books, and I'm not sure what to recommend because, like the doctor noticed yesterday, I love to learn. I love to learn about everything. And I just have such a variety of audiobooks in there. And here's a cool thing. Whenever I absolutely love an audio, and I listen to it over and over and over again. Why? Because as I learned from Bob Proctor, it's not that you're seeing something that wasn't there before. It's that you're somebody different. You're in a different place in your life from who you were. Different set of thoughts, right? Different creating. You're in a different place. And you're going to read and notice things and maybe reinterpret them. I know that happens all the time for me. And I wish it for you. Remember to enjoy, that's capital I-N, capital J-O-Y, every moment, because nothing in your life happens outside of your body. Your ability to see, hear, taste, touch, smell, it doesn't happen outside your body. It's when those signals come within your body where they get interpreted to your senses. I look forward to being here with you next time.